Hello, John Bloodworth, Gentleman Crafter here. If you have been following my blog recently, you'll know that I've built up quite a stash over the last couple of months, and I'm making an effort to use it or lose it. So, this video is going to start off some stamping projects with some purchases that I made through Simon Says Stamp. That's not easy to say. And the first one's going to feature this massive ornate background. It's actually huge. It's 6 inches across and it's a foam rubber stamp. The design actually extends to about 5.5 inches. So I'm going to get plenty of use out of this, I think, and I've got a few ideas to get going with. So without further ado, let's crack on. I've already mounted the design onto a very large acrylic block with a handle so that I can roll press. If you don't have this, you can always just lay this flat onto your work surface, press the paper onto it after you've inked it, and then just use a brayer to run over and give that pressure. Entirely up to you how you go about that, but I'm going to try this way first. So first jobs first, I'm going to make sure that I've de-staticked my cardstock because I'm going to use some embossing powder for this. I don't want the embossing powder to stick everywhere. Now I'm not sure which of these actually have got ink on because they've been in storage for quite some time, but we shall see. I'm just going to start squishing this in all over. I'm going to take a look. If you angle it in the light, you can see if the ink has taken, because obviously this is a clear ink, so not always easy to see. I think that's just about got it. So I'm going to gently line it up with the paper. This is A6 paper, so it should just about fit this stamp design. I'm going to press and roll. Hopefully that's transferred. Let me just take a quick look. Okay, I can see plenty of design on there, so I should move this piece out of the way because it's got leftover stuff on it. I'll use the white puff twinkle first, and this is from Wow Powders. So you can see, hopefully, I'll just bring that up a little bit. You can see that there is powder on there, so I just need to move that to one side for a moment while I get this back in its pot. You can see, although I did sprinkle on quite a lot, most of it's going back in that pot. Lid back on, and I shall get my design back. And I'll need the heat gun now. Just letting it heat up away from the card for a moment. And I am using a heat protective surface on my table. Okay. So that's complete. And Hopefully you can now see, I'll get a close-up I think of this, that this embossing powder has taken fantastically. There's lots of detail and the cardstock itself is actually quite straight still, which is great. It's a watercolour cardstock from Inkylicious, I believe, and it was 10 sheets for £2.50, 300 GSM. Do check them out. I'll leave links in the bottom of the video notes. Okay, now that's done, I'm going to apply some colour. So I have some dye inks here. I think I'll use those. So I've got a rose and grenadine from Aladdin, and I'm going to use just a blending brush. There's many different brands of these out there, so you can pick and choose. I'm going to do the corners in the grenadine. It's quite a rich pink or red, depending on how softly you blend it. There we go. So it's quite a soft pink running through the middle, and then there's the intense grenadine colour on the corners. Now, just so you're aware, some glitter does shed from this, so that may end up transferring to your ink pad. Now, I think I will do just a couple of quick spritzes with water. And what that will do is run the ink off of the embossing powder and back into its little recesses. Excuse me, I will now dry it off. Fantastic. I just wanted to show you this stage because I'm going through the matting and layering process. So what I have done is I have cut my A6 stamped sheet down by 1 centimetre on a long edge and 1 centimetre on a short edge. And then I've cut a piece of A6 black cardstock and cut it down by ½ centimetre on one edge, ½ centimetre on another. I've then cut a circular aperture in my stamped layer. Then I've stuck my stamped layer to the black card, and that then means that I can perfectly position the next aperture die onto the black cardstock, so I don't then have the issue that this would be off center. So I just wanted to point that out before I move on to the next stage, and I will then show you what I'm doing for that. For this next part, as you can see, I have now cut my aperture in the black cardstock, and that's obviously going to sit on the front of the card, and I'd like to put a sentiment in there, but my black panel is going to be sat raised on some foam pads. So what I'm doing is I'm just aligning it here first, and then I'm going to very gently trace the circle in the middle so that when I come to stamp my design, I know exactly where to stamp it, and then I can erase the lines just afterwards. So I'll very quickly do that now. There we go. Perfectly positioned. Put them to one side, and I can then rub out my pencil line. Okay. So the next step is to get some foam tape to mount this up on. There we go, foam tape on. Now we shall wrestle with the backing tape to get that off. There we go, really quick and really simple. I love it. I'll give you a closer look. There we go. Nice, quick, simple and easy card to make. I will hopefully have more for you tomorrow, if not this week, from the craft room. So thank you very much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video if you have enjoyed it. If you haven't, you know what to do. Also, if you have enjoyed it, then I would love to have your company next time, and of course for my archive of videos. So please do subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you receive notifications of when I have uploaded more. In the meantime, here's a few suggestions for you to watch next. Take care, see you next time.